Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again, and welcome to my abode. Truly, indeed, it's a very nice day. This is February of 2015, and it's snowing here. And I understand on the East Coast, in New York and Boston, they're really going through some changes. Some weather that has probably never been experienced by that area before. However, I'm just hanging loose, folding up some towels, and a little jacket here and there, and I just thought I'd take a little bit of time, because I was thinking about being spokesman and advocate of basic human rights. I spent most of my life trying to make a difference by advocating, not trying to force anything upon people, but by advocating ways whereby people can have their dreams come true. I remember always as a little boy dreaming of having peace, joy, prosperity. And I dreamed when I did, not just that I could experience those, but it was something that all people experience. Never dawned on me until I grew up that it didn't work like that. Nevertheless, I never stopped dreaming. And I became a social scientist so I could, well, I didn't intentionally become a social scientist. I ended up becoming a social scientist. And as one, it would give me the opportunity to scientifically, we got a process, go through and expose myself to examine the situations of life that people everywhere go through, to determine perhaps some of the major causes, but not just causes, but solutions as a result. And I have spent so many years, I'm about 60, this is February 10th. In a few weeks, I'll be 65 years old. 65 years old. I never thought I'd live this long. Nevertheless, I'm here. And I find myself having purpose. Because I have, as I mentioned, had radio programs. I've had cable access programs. I've done CDs and DVDs. I have spoken on street corners, traveled across the country, advocating the peace and prosperity and joy that I so desperately desire for all of human race, not just Americans, definitely every American, but not just every American, people all over the world. I've preached in churches. I've used the Bible to stimulate as much as I possibly can. Man, there's very little. I even committed crimes to use the courtroom to preach from, knowing that if you listened, it would be all right. And if you didn't, I'd have to do time. You know what? You didn't listen, and I did the time. I'm not mad, though. You see, what I have learned is this, is that we all got choice. But what choices are we given? The way the world is today, the systems that exist for the most part, whether it's here in the United States of America or anywhere across the globe, they were established long before we who are living today got here. They were there. And so being born into that is like being born into our bodies. Our spirit is in our bodies, and it's that. And so when it's the same, when we step out into the world that we're born in, our environment is like our body. It's real to us. It's real to us. All of its faults, all of its goodnesses, it's real to us. But like people who just aspire to do great things, to go from using a torch to electric light, the possibilities always exist. And when it comes down to those things that are common amongst each and every last one of us, I believe that they're important. And it's like that light bulb to me. And I want to see that bulb lit where all of us. And so I preached, and I haven't achieved anything, not one thing. Going to jail, haven't achieved one thing. So I just want to take this time to come to you and to say to you, people of America, as well as people of the world, I have a dream, I have a vision of seeing every living human being in America I have a vision of seeing every last one of them closed, food, sheltered, education, health care, unlimited and unrestricted. I have a vision of it being accessible to every last one of them. And I know in this dream that each of us, right now, many of us have jobs and many of us don't. But if we bring those who are without jobs, train them in those careers that they choose, not just the job, because there are no bosses except the people. That job that they choose that would give them the greatest pleasure in working. I know that all of those things, by all those people put together, would duplicate all of the good and wonderful things that we as a people have already done. And we will continue to do them as they are relevant in our lives. And as things change, as aspirations change, and visions change, then we will adapt ourselves because the changes come through we, the people. And we're the people manifesting. Woo! I have this dream, ladies and gentlemen. And so I'm asking you to think for a second. Think for a second. Think that the good life, the wonderful life that you so cherish today, think for a moment if you lost it. Wouldn't you want it back at least? And if you could get something better, wouldn't you want that? I say that because most people who are hurting, they very seldom believe now that it can change. But if it could change for those who never had anything, who are always at the rock bottom, wouldn't you want it too? So I'm telling you that it can. All of these can happen, but it will require the participation of you. I'm asking you. To me, there's no greater love than to want peace, joy, and prosperity for every human being in the face of the earth. And do nothing to tear it away, and give your life as a seed to plant it, to watch it grow. There's no greater love to me. I mean, I know this is just me. But because it does, and I want to live amongst you while these wonderful things are happening, I'm asking you to reconsider, and let us achieve this vision I've shared with you. We can do it. It's not complicated at all. It is much easier than the life we live every day. And if you knew it, if you tried it, you would be so happy. So I'm asking you, ladies and gentlemen, let's not just do it for you. Let's do it for every American. And let's not just do it for every American. Let's do it for the entire human race. Now, I'm not the only one that feels this way. I'm not the only one that can feel this way. I know. Because you can too. Bye-bye. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. I'd like to take a moment and share with you, if I may, on terrorism, the unbeatable, unwinnable battle, and war. Before we get into the subject matter, let us see if we can get some idea of what this actually means, terrorism. Well, let's go to Webster's New World Dictionary. And I chose them the elementary edition. Elementary edition means that it's should be easy to understand.